That's it. I really don't know what else I could tell you. Not until I talked to Eden. I was passing by. I recognized her car. And, well, I pulled over. I couldn't believe it was her. Then I saw them loading her up into the ambulance, and I'm sorry, officer, but maybe the doctors told you that my wife, she was pregnant and she lost the child in the accident. It's still so fresh in my mind.
Yeah. I understand. I'm very sorry.
Dr. Hunt, report to 3 East.
Inspector Castile? I didn't know he was assigned to this case.
He's not.
Hi.
How is he?
It's good news. She's fine. She's not awake yet, but she's fine.
Thank God.
You could have found all that out in a phone call. You had no reason to come all the way over here. Everything seems to be under control, Cruz.
Well, I guess I just had to see that for myself, Mr. C. Well, Kirk? Cruz. Danny?
Inspector, Mr. Cranston arrived just after his wife's accident. I was just questioning him. Did you want to take over?
No, you go right ahead, but I would like to listen in if you don't mind. I'm very interested in what happened here.
Do you have any idea where your wife might have been going, sir?
No, I don't. I saw her earlier at home, but she didn't mention any plans for later that day.
Well, you might not be aware, Mr. Cranston, but your wife's knees were very badly scraped, and they found particles of wood in them. Apparently, she took some kind of a fall just before she got into the car.
I didn't know anything about that.
There's also the matter of blood that wasn't hers, which was found on her collar.
Yes. I can't explain that either. I assumed that when she fell, that's... I didn't tell you on the phone. Eden miscarried. I'm sorry. So, we have reason to believe that she met with some other kind of accident before the car accident, is that it?
Looks that way.
Well, I'm going to find out what that was. I'm going to do everything humanly possible to find out. Well, I appreciate you doing whatever you can. I'll cooperate in any way that I can. That's good, Kirk. I think we ought to get started right away. And since we can't talk to her, maybe we should try to reconstruct her day, retrace her steps, so to speak. Why don't you join me down at the station house for a little
Cruz,
while?
I think I'm going to stay here, all right? When Eden wakes up, I want to be the very first face that she sees. Excuse me, officer.
Dr. Kim, dial 7344, Dr. Kim.
All right, so if she was hurt before she went into the car, that would explain why she lost control. The blood on the collar, has it been to the lab?
I hear the findings.
Thanks.
Dr. Hart, this is you.
Are you a blushing bride yet?
Yes, but we're not telling anyone yet. We want to ease Brandon into the situation. We're taking our time.
Dad doesn't know.
No, not yet. And Mason, I want to be the one who tells him.
I can take a hint.
Have you seen Eden yet?
No, she's still unconscious. And I imagine her first few waking moments won't be any too pleasant. You knew about the baby she was carrying.
Did she?
She lost it. I imagine she'll be devastated. Santana, don't think the worst.
What?
I know you're afraid that Cruz only married you because Eden was pregnant. Now that she isn't, you're afraid that'll change.
Mason, excuse me. Cruz?
Yeah.
Can you take me home now?
What, right now, this minute?
Yes. Now that we know that Eden's all right, I don't see any point for us to stay.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask Eden some questions about the accident.
I need to ask you some questions, too.